Hidden Object Guru here, joined by.
The Gun Wrangler. I'm
Uh,
staring at some Newman art.
as you can see, we've decided to load up the Division.
Good God, this game is detailed.
It's
Man,
incredible. No, I mean, its depiction of Manhattan is fantastic. Like, it really is. This is for level 3 to 5 people. I'm level 4. Your level, I assume, 30? What's the maximum
no,
level in this game?
I started a brand new character for this.
What? Oh, I'm amazed. Sorry, looters. I gotta
Yep.
say, what I've noticed is I'm shooting a lot of grenades. I started playing this 2 days ago. I'm only up to level 4, but I keep like shooting grenades on people's belts. I'm like, okay, I'm happy to be doing that.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I know. I love doing it in Sniper Elite, so it's nice to see it in other games. I fought a boss on a rooftop, a lady who was running a group of rioters, and I had
One
trouble.
of
Like, I had to try
one
to
of the things I
kill her
do
like
love
4 times.
about
Oh,
this
go. Yeah,
is the quest giver who gives you that quest.
yeah.
She's like the kindest, most genteel Minnesotan. She's like, "Oh well, I made you a sandwich. Don't forget your gloves. But can you kill this lady for me?"
I'd really appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I kept dying on that fight. It was very annoying. And then what I realized was just wait until she starts to throw a grenade and then shoot her and she'll drop it at her feet. And because this game's damage system is absurd, you have to do that 4 times, but it does work. JTF support, override selection. Oh, wow.
You
More shooting
can shoot through
grenades.
windows in this game, by the way.
I will remember that in the future. So, as is usual, we're here to talk about the best show on television, and that is
Barry.
Barry. So, funny thing, I was Bill Hader's doing all the talk shows this week to talk about the season ender of Barry and remind people, no, it's not just Game of Thrones that's ending this week. It's Barry. So everybody pay attention to Barry as well. And
That was some pretty piss poor planning on the behalf of HBO.
I don't know that it was because what he was explaining was that it's like they only found out. Oh wait, the story's the mission's this way. My bad. So it's funny because as he was saying, that they only found out a week before the first episode of Barry airs that when Game of Thrones comes back, Barry's going to be following Game of Thrones. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Why would we debate that?" And the thing I loved was so their first week back,
Hmm.
the first week of Game of Thrones back, an extra 2.5 million people watched Barry, who
What?
hadn't exactly because people were tuning in watching Game of Thrones, and then right after Game of Thrones, they just left it on and watched Barry. And he's like, okay, I was worried we were going to get overshadowed by Game of Thrones, but apparently instead it's made more people than ever watch Barry. So it's working out well for Barry. It's strange, but there you go. I mean, I want to live in a world where more people watch Barry than watch Game of Thrones, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, especially since Game of Thrones apparently is shitting the bed.
I know. It's a disaster. We'll talk about that some other time, but yeah, it's a disaster. Although the funniest thing was, and this is, I was a little sad that that Bill Hader didn't mention this. He talked about taking they did a little screening of the first 3 episodes of Barry ever last year for the David
Ooh.
Benioff, the guy who writes Game of Thrones. Oh, that's a boss. All right, I'm gonna get
Yep.
behind cover. You got a grenade for him, or oh no, we're fine. I'm guessing.
Apparently,
he
I
used to
just
be
drank a can of soda. So,
Nice. Yeah, he's just shooting at you. It's like he knows you're the threatening one. Damn, I can't hit this guy at all.
down I go.
Yeah, me too. Wait, hold on. And people wonder, like, hey, why are you so annoyed by the Division sometimes? I don't know, all the times when I get 5 feet away from a dude, and he and
just
empty a
murderizes-
clip. No, empty a clip into his head, and he just stands there shooting me, and that's it. Let's just respawn and start that over. Frustrating, right? Anyway, so he was saying that he showed the first 3 episodes of Barry, to the David Benioff, who runs Game of Thrones, and he's like, and David Benioff was startled by how dark Barry was, and Bill Hader's response was, kids get burned to death on your show all the time. And it's weird that even Bill Hader doesn't seem to understand that, no, people are so shocked by Barry because someone told them that Barry was a comedy. And it's not a comedy, and that's why you're more, like, people who are tuning in to watch Game of Thrones are expecting nudity and ultraviolence. People who are tuned in to watch a half-hour comedy from Bill Hader
are not
expecting how dark Barry is. That it is, in fact, the darkest thing on TV. So yeah, like, you would not expect that at all, and I think even Bill Hader doesn't understand to an extent just how dark the show, like, just how much it's not a comedy. Oh, and the other great thing I learned was that the reason that we got Ronnie Lilly the episode is because during the first season, his stunt coordinator was like, I was on another show a couple of weeks ago. Check out this video. It's an 11-year-old girl running across the roof of a house and jumping onto a moving van. If you've got something you want to do with her, I can get her for this show. So if you want to write something for that, here's this girl who can do that. And that is why that character exists. Because his stunt coordinator was like, yeah, I saw this girl who's amazing, and you should put her on the show. So figure something out. I was kind of blown away.
It is kind of a more direct answer than you were probably expecting.
Oh yeah, of how that happened. Yeah, no, there's a very concrete... So, I just realized you were not behind me. Where are you?
I'm still, like, I've been waiting for you at the base for a little bit. I'm like,
I ran straight for the boss. That was my bad. I assumed you were running straight for the boss too. That's a conversation we should have had before I started running.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm looking at the boss now, but obviously I'm not going to engage him because I'm not an idiot. But anyway, so yes, this episode of Barry is the episode where I found out that the season is only 8 episodes long. I assumed they were going to be doing 10 like last year, and then the events of this episode made it clear that this was the second last episode.
I was kind of shocked myself.
Yeah, like when you get towards the end of this episode, I'm like, there can't be like another 3 episodes after this, and then I realized, oh no, there aren't another 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's because there aren't.
Yeah, like this is it. All right, get ready. Okay, well, I think we lost the element of surprise. Is I think what happened there. But yeah, there aren't 3 episodes after this one, and that's a tragedy. And I think my Skype message to you the minute after I finished watching was I'm not ready for Barry to be over yet. Because that's how amazing it has been all this year. It's been so incredible, and now it's going away.
Has.
And I don't know. Oh, wait. Can you pick up that thing, or do we have our own instances of loot? Oh, we have our own instances of loot. Nice. Yep. Or you just didn't pick it up. Oh, no, we do. Okay. Because I'm very happy.
Ballistic shield for some reason.
Oh, you had a ballistic shield and a pistol. Nice. I will stay behind you as a result.
That is, in fact, not a pistol.
Oh, it's not. Oh, you got a shotgun. Nice. Way to go, ballistic shield. Oh, hey, I'll use my bad guy detector. Oh, shush. Bad guy detector is a perfectly good name. I know he's on the other side of the wall. Let's head this way for the boss. But anyway, so this episode of Barry, it picks up pretty soon after the last one. It's where we find NoHo Hank. I predicted last week that Barry was going to have to deal with the NoHo Hank situation or do the showcase. I was completely backwards. He does have a career versus his murder life conflict, but it has nothing to do with NoHo Hank, as I was thinking. Because, again, I didn't realize this was the second last episode, so it did not occur to me that Fuchs's endgame would show up so quickly. And here's the thing that gets me. So we start the episode, we get what's going on with Sally and her tragic meeting for a terrible pilot. I kind of enjoyed the story, the ridiculous, awful pilot she was up for, and it kind of like goes right into this idea of Hollywood, grabbing people's real experiences and turning them into, garbage. Where, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
You are creating a garbage factory.
Yes. But it's like the idea that, oh, you've got this, you were an abused wife, huh? Well, I was thinking we could do a show where a group of badass ladies murder abusive husbands. Like, what? Oh my god. Oh, so now we have to find the virus scanner. Okay, we can do that.
Thank you for cheapening all of my life experience.
I know. Like, of course she recoils and doesn't want to do it. And then at the same time...
I think one of the most fascinating things was, in fact, both of them being offered schlock.
Yeah, and Barry is so excited.
He's happy for the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, no, and just the fact that at the same time as she... and this is what we get into. We're going to get into Sally's monologue in a minute. But what I love about it is, at the same time that Barry she is offered the schlockiest schlock in the world because her agent saw her, like pouring out her heart and her experiences and her truth on stage. And Barry is offered a lead in the, well, not offered a lead the way she is, but given the opportunity to read for a lead in the schlockiest schlock imaginable because he is 6'2". And that is the only criteria.
And he's happy for the opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
He's
super gleeful at the prospect of being in Swim Instructors. And as Gene said, you say the title. They can't cut that. It's so beautiful. It's like the other guy's really short, so they wanted a tall guy for, him to compare it to. Like, is it any wonder? And, you found all of the virus scanners. Bravo. So now we have to go back downstairs to do the cloud? Or do we have to go across the roof? Oh, we have to go across the rooftops.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird that there haven't been any dudes here.
Oh, that's about to change.
Oh, okay. I'll be ready for that. And so, yeah, I don't know if Sally's getting herself an Emmy nomination this year, but I loved her monologue. Where it's like her coming to terms with the entire film industry in one, 2.5-minute speech. Like, straight to camera, right to Barry. And the wonderful structure of having that conversation happen immediately after... there we go. Immediately after... Barry does his, the line reading he has been working on all day with Mr. Kusanau. That structure of that scene is so beautiful. Oh, God, he's like, he told me to put some mustard on the word pie. Like, Jesus.
Like, he's super into it.
Yeah.
And... she is so vindictive and so narcissistic.
But I mean, it's not just vindictive and narcissistic because she has
not
the
just.
full range.
There are other worse attributes that she's displaying.
Worse she is legitimate. No, you're wrong. She's also legitimately happy for him, but it's like to find out that this guy who came from nowhere, right? She has put everything into acting for years and is really good at it and is in some way endangering, by doing this stuff about her real life, she is endangering her her viability as a person. She has just said no to a huge job, a big payday, and whether the show goes or not, right? It's a big payday, and it's proof to other casting agents that you've been cast as a lead in a show, which is a giant door opener. Like, even if the show didn't go, it's huge to have been cast as the lead in a show for other casting agents. Like, she has, for ethical reasons, today, turned down a giant job opportunity, right? And at the same time, her boyfriend has just been given a chance who just started acting, and let's be serious, is not very good, has just been given the chance to read for the lead in a major Hollywood comedy directed by the director of what is it, Austin Powers. Like, I understand where she's coming from. She is as supportive as she can be, but at the same time...
While maintaining her sour grapes.
Well, no, she is very... But the thing is, it's not like she's subtle. She's not passive-aggressive. She's very open about the sour grapes, and that's why I respect the character. Like, she tells you, she goes through all of the emotions she's feeling in that scene. Like, she's not... It's not like she's being passive-aggressive or manipulative. She's just like, here is everything I'm feeling at once, and if you're wondering why I'm not being good at helping you right now, it's because I am going through a crazy amount of stuff, both in my own life and reacting from stuff in your life. Like, that's why I thought it was such a great monologue, because she just lays it all out there in a way that we haven't basically seen her do before. I was very impressed with her, and I thought, this is going to get Chris on her side finally, but no, it didn't work. It still didn't work. Person bearing their soul to you. Phone recordings. Oh, neat. We can pick up, what do you call it? All right, I'm sending it to the side mission. We can pick up phone recordings and hear audio. Nice.
Yep.
Like, even this person bearing their soul, letting this all out, still you're like, nope, don't trust her. Don't like her.
Yep. Like, if she had been like, you know what, I hate it, but I'm glad you did this. We both got offered the same level of schlock.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And instead, she's just like, no. Even though I turned mine down, even though you're going forward with things, just for the simple...
Uh-oh.
For doing what I couldn't do, I will hold this against you. Hold this against everyone.
See, you see, you're adding a lot more negativity to what she said than I think was intended. I think she was just honestly trying to say how baffling this was to her. And you are suggesting that there is going to be a problem caused by this that I don't know I see any evidence of in the episode. I mean, you're right that if she continues being not supportive of him in the future, right, then yeah, that is a very negative thing, and I wouldn't understand it based on who she is, but all we've seen now is her admitting why she's having trouble being super supportive. And the very fact that she's able to say why she's having trouble being super supportive, to me says, that's a big step in the right direction for her. Okay, I can't use this, I was having real trouble using the supplies as cover. If you could give me a little cover while I heal, that would be fantastic.
I'm murdering as fast as I can.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. There we go. I helped slightly. Anyway, but I think you've got to at least give her the very fact that she's willing to come out and say, here's what I'm feeling, is a worthwhile thing. She's not smiling and pretending to be happy for him and pulling passive-aggressive crap. She is laying it all out there, and I think that is a good thing both for her character, right? And I think it's an interesting thing for the show. Why are they trying to destroy the supplies?
I have no idea.
Did they not
Why would
want
they be
the
trying
supplies?
to steal them?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, protect the supplies, and then the supplies were getting shot. That was very weird. Anyway. So I think it's a good thing for a character. Obviously, we're going to see more going forward. Oh, do we have to get up there? Okay. How do I do that? Is there a ladder around here somewhere? Do I just climb on top of this building? Yeah, it's like the next...
No,
oh,
there's a ladder.
Here it is. I got the ladder, yeah. I just saw it at the ladder. Oh, right, I can sprint up the ladder. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's a good step for her character. I think it says interesting things, and I think it's her growing. I think it's a sign of her growth as a person, that now, instead of being passive-aggressive and instead of just resenting Barry, she can talk about this. You know, I think that's really good. And I think she's not crazy to point out how ridiculously unfair it seems that, again, he has gotten this amazing opportunity because he is 6'2".
Yeah.
Like, she has to bare her soul and every part of her, like, all of her worst memories for a shot at something terrible. He gets a great big, feature film thing. And, oh, God, just as a nerd in this, and someone who works in the industry, just I loved his not understanding that feature and movie were the same thing. He keeps correcting people. No, it's a movie. Like, all of the inside Hollywood people only say feature. He's like, no, it's a movie. I loved that. So yeah, I think it shows growth for her character. I think it's a good scene. I think it's a great scene for the action. I think it shows growth for the character, and I think it's going to be big stuff later on. Ah! Oh my god. And I think it's going to be big stuff later on. Although I guess we're going to see.
Yeah, we only have like an episode or two left.
Well, no, we have one episode left. But then, there's going to be season 3. I am interested to see how how her showcase plays out next year, though. Sorry, next year, though. This week, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is Barry going to be in a position of letting her down the way I first thought, right? Because he's dealing with this Fuchs situation. So, before we get to the Fuchs situation...
I can't shoot on a ladder. Oh, I'm
being
badly
shot?
hurt.
Oh,
yeah,
no!
I was, like, going down the ladder and being just nailed.
Where are the bad guys? Because I will come and rescue you. But I need to know where the bad guys are. I do not see any
they're in that
signs of them.
same car park.
Oh, okay. Well, I will keep my head down. How do I revive you? Oh, X. It's the first time I've played co-op, so, I didn't know how to revive right away. Done and done. Oh, yeah, I see them. Okay. Let's kill these guys, then we'll head off to the next side mission. So, can we talk about the amazing NoHo Hank scene?
All of them?
Well, no, there's just the one long scene this week. Well, no, you're right. There's the first one they're driving up to the place, but oh my god. Oh, you were right that I don't know how they can do this show without him. I thought he was dead this year. I was worried that he was going to get killed this year when he's pulling stuff on Barry in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. After I saw this episode, I'm like, how do you do the show without this character? Without this actor? Like, I just don't know if it'll work. And I'm not saying anyone is indispensable in a show like this, but oh my god, he's optometrist guy. Like, on one level.
Like, what was his name? Mikhail or whatever?
Yeah, oh
the
god.
Young upstart that Barry trained.
Yeah, the Barry train who has now taken over to the point where they don't even bother pulling Hank out of the burning bus.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so busy monologuing in self-pity that they don't even bother pulling him out of the bus. Oh, but his real talk, I'm sorry I got all you stuck in a death bus. Or, like, in, the barbecue bus. Because I couldn't admit to myself that I'd be happier running a hotel.
I think that was the ultimate come to Jesus moment for him.
Yeah,
because he's just like, you know what? I've done some awful things, but I'd probably be happier running a hotel.
Come on back this way. It's like, that's what my personality is. I'm a nice guy. And that's what we've been saying about him for 2 seasons now. That he's just a nice guy. Like, he wants to get along with people. He wants everything to go well for everybody. And, that's not the line of work you're in, Hank. So, I don't know what Hank's journey is starting next year, well, starting this week, but I don't know what Hank's journey is next year, but I think it's going to be fascinating because you never get a better moment than when they pull and he's got himself Mirbeck is the guy's name. When he's standing next to Mirbeck and he imagines he is still in charge, and then they bring the accordion player out to get executed. And he starts doing his speech to him, and Mirbeck shoots the guy in the face.
Yeah,
and he's like, I was gonna get to that. Oh, it's so perfect. Oh god, but yeah, I almost feel sorry for this guy that Henry Winkler is on the show, because I think there's a chance he could be up for awards too, as a supporting actor. He really shone this season. Hank went through a lot this year. He was just a supporting character last year, but he's to a certain extent a background character last year. He's in plenty of the show, but he's just, comic relief. Whereas this season, he has been like an integral mover and shaker in the plot, and we've found there's a lot more to the character than we'd previously assumed. So, yeah, they've done a really good job with Hank this year. He's done an amazing job as the character, and I would love to see him get some of that recognition. It's one of those things that makes me wish that the Emmys had wow, that was impressive. I think the Golden Globes does, but I don't know that the Emmys do. I really feel like they need a Best Ensemble Emmy. You know, for the show where the whole cast is doing the best work as a group.
Yeah. I'm sort of still neither here nor there.
Okay.
Because if you're going to give cast or group, then what about American Gods?
American Gods is great too, but this would be technically Barry's a comedy. So I don't think they would be competing with each other in this hypothetical Emmy I'm talking about. So here's the good thing about the flamethrowers. They don't seem to be super long range. So those guys cannot hit us from far off. Defend the water pump until pressure is restored. It will do. I got this door. You get the door on our left. And I think we should be good. Oh, there's guys upstairs as well? But you've taken care of them. Nice work. Gotcha! And you can kill I'm glad to find out we can kill the flamethrower guys without them exploding and badly damaging us. So that's good. There's great ensemble work being done in both, but I think Barry's something special. Oh, wow. So yes, let's get to the real meat of the episode, the big finale. Barry goes for his audition for swim instructors, and at the same time, Mr. Kusanov has been kidnapped by Fuchs. Not that he knows he's been kidnapped by Fuchs.
I wouldn't say he's been kidnapped, but...
Well, I mean, he doesn't know he's being kidnapped by Fuchs, but, you know. Fuchs is taking him into the woods to kill him. So, there you go. Oh my god, I am getting slaughtered here. If you could... Who the hell was even shooting? Ow. Okay, I was not prepared. Wait a minute,
You're a little bit on fire there, bro.
Yeah, I noticed that. The flamethrower guys have guns as well? That's not cool, guys. You shouldn't be allowed to have both. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Wait a minute. We still have 2 minutes to defend this water pump? That's madness.
No, we need to restore water pressure, so you need to actually go and use the object.
Oh, okay. We have to go and use the object. I didn't realize. All right, so where is the object? Oh, it's there. Okay, there was a marker on it. So yes, he has been abducted, and then we get a wonderful scene with the actual Jay Roach, and what I have to assume is an actual casting director. And you get Barry's compelling audition for swim instructors, where
His
he
performance.
describe it, yes, where he neglects to do any of the jokes. You know, you really underplayed that. You didn't do any of the jokes. Oh, will Barry get a callback? I wonder. I don't know what route this this show is taking, but Barry actually getting a job would be a very interesting place for this show to go. I have no idea what they have in mind, but I think that scene was... Ooh, reflex sight. Nice. I assume that'll help my accuracy or bullet spread or whatever.
Yeah, you need to actually modify your guns at some point.
So you go into mod, gun inventory. I'm using my whatever rifle, military P416. Oh, it's a 416. Okay. So there's the mod button. Oh, yeah, and then I had a reflex sight. Okay. Nice. Extended magazine. Sight optics, reflex sight. Ooh. Plus 0.5% optimal range. Nice. That doesn't actually sound like a lot, though. 0.5%. And if I have a 100-meter optimal range, by my count, that is an extra 0.5 meter of optimal range. I don't know if that seems that worthwhile. But yeah, so my question to you is... Okay, that was bad. my question to you is, what is going on? Like, how does Fuchs feel about Jean's relationship with Barry?
I I think it's jealousy, to be honest.
Like, you think he really is on some level, because this is what we were talking about last week. To what extent does he actually think of himself as a father figure to Barry? Like, does he actually think he's helping Barry?
I think he genuinely does believe at some level that
I
he is.
Until this episode, I didn't really buy that. But the way Stephen Root plays it when they're in Jean's cabin, right? And Jean is talking about what a mess Barry was when he first got there, and how for the first time it feels like he's doing something that's making him happy and he's doing something positive in his life. Like, the way Stephen Root is playing that, I just really blew me away, because it really feels like, okay, I think this guy actually cares more about Barry than I thought he did. I have no idea where the exit is. This is really embarrassing. I don't remember how we got here. So, like, that's not crazy for me to be reading it that way, right?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely totally fair.
Yeah, like that whole... Oh my god. And then just... And having it come after... Like, it's bad enough, right? He's got Barry begging on the phone, right? On the phone, begging him not to hurt Jean, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, you got this scene, Michael Trudeau, File of Agent Michael Trudeau. Oh, nice. Okay. I'll just pick that up, which is something I definitely know how to do. There we go. We can find agent files. Cool. Right, so you've got him begging him not to hurt Jean. And then right after that, you got Jean, without Barry around, without knowing what's happening, just telling this story about how much Jean seems to really care about Barry. And it's like, oh, Fuchs really does seem angry about that whole prospect in a way that really interested me. And I guess I didn't quite believe that he cared about Barry until that moment, until him and Jean in the cabin.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I kind of buy it, and when Barry has to kill Fuchs this week, which is definitely happening, like, I think it's safe to say that's definitely happening, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if he just showed up and he wouldn't kill Fuchs, but he's definitely going to draw down on him.
I just don't, I don't see how... not now. Like, I don't know if he's going to kill him in front of Jean in the woods. I just don't see how this... He can't, exactly, right? He can't.
Like, there's two options. Either he kills Cousineau and Jean, or he kills neither.
Yeah, and Fuchs. But I don't think it's going to happen in this next scene. I think you're right about that, but I don't know that this next episode ends without him killing Fuchs. And my predictions have been wrong all year. So
entire year, yes.
Yeah, the whole year, my predictions have been very wrong. I just don't see how this next episode ends, or the season wraps up. Are you ready to ambush these guys with me?
Sorry, I'm giving
Okay, I'll just shoot them all.
I'm giving a hobo a can of beans in exchange for his pants.
Jesus, you're doing that again?
When you walk up to civilian in need and you give them whatever, canned food,
they'll try to give you things in return. Sometimes they don't own much. Yeah, so maybe you get the pants.
Sometimes you actually get apparel drops, so like jeans, a sweater, or whatever, and you're like, so where were you hiding this? Or did you just give me the pants?
Whereas I had three guys walking towards me, so I'm just like, oh, I'll just shoot all three of them. And it probably would have gone badly for me, but I hit the grenade on one of their belts, so yeah, it ended up working pretty well. So, I'm making my prediction, and as we've noted, my predictions have been wrong all year, but I think this episode doesn't end without him killing Fuchs. And saying goodbye, he thinks, to that part of his life. But I'm not going to make any predictions about what's going to happen with NoHo Hank. Like, I got no idea there.
Okay, I think he's going to have to kill Mikhail.
Mirbeck.
Mirbeck, whatever.
Oof. Yeah, to prove that he is, to prove that he's in charge. God, maybe. Do you want to? Where are you?
Not too far. Again,
I got 6 guys here. I would just start shooting, but there's 6 of them, so I want to wait till you get here. No, you've got guys to deal with. You're trading people food for pants. I get what you're doing. No one's judging you. But if you would do me a favor, and if you would, don't just run out. Don't just run out.
Me at this point.
No, stop. Don't just charge it. Okay, you're just charging it. Okay, that's fine. I thought we were gonna come up with a scheme, but you want to just rush in, be my guest. I'm all like, oh, okay. I'm like, maybe we should tactics this. But no, yeah, just go shoot people. That's fine. Hey, test pattern. Ah.
I've got my ballistic shield and...
You got a ballistic shield and a shotgun. What are you worried about? I get it. I'm overthinking this. So yes, Barry, once again, best show on television. He's going to win all of those Emmys next year, too. Honestly, after Ronnie Lilly, I don't know how he doesn't get the best director of a TV show Emmy this year. Like, it would be crazy to me if somebody else wins best director. And I mean, he could not win it just because, you know, people would feel jealous of the kind of talent Bill Hader has. But I honestly believe that is the only reason he wouldn't win best director this year. Like, that's how good that half hour of television was. Are you getting shot? I feel like you're getting shot.
I am not getting shot.
Okay, it says you're down to 1/3 health on my screen.
I am, but...
You're doing fine?
I'm okay.
Okay,
I'm just
trust
like
you. Gotcha.
Breaking into apartments.
You know, that's the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be shooting the people who break into apartments. It's actually this weird... I'm don't
going
understand.
Through someone's fridge right now.
Well, and that's actually something that puzzles me about this game that I don't quite understand. Which is... So I've tagged these 3 guys in front of me as guys who need to get shot. But they weren't doing anything. Like, they weren't... They weren't looting a corpse. They weren't stealing things. They were literally just 3 guys walking down the street. My HUD says, these guys have got to go. So I shoot them in the back and they die. But my point is, I don't know why I was supposed to shoot those guys. Like, is it because they've got guns?
Because they're walking down the street?
What I was saying was, maybe it's because they had guns and only, like, officials of the Joint Task Force are allowed to have guns in Manhattan, and anyone else holding a weapon is shoot on sight. And I don't know if that's something, like, that is the kind of order I can see being given in a situation like this, that anyone not part of the Joint Task Force holding a weapon is going to be considered, you know, free fire target. Yep. But I didn't actually hear that mentioned at the beginning of the game. So I'm like wondering, is that something that is part of the game as someone who's played more of the plot?
Did I commit a war crime?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is this
went to jail for the rest of my life?
Well, I don't think anybody's going to jail for anything that happens here. Or at least nobody who works for the government.
I don't know.
I don't think there's going to be a ton of oversight based on what happened in this during this disaster.
I believe the expression is a drumhead court-martial.
Maybe. But yeah.
Oh, hey, so you did some stuff. We're just going to shoot you now.
I know, right? Oh, God, that kind of stuff has been known to happen. But yeah, it's, what do you call it? I honestly don't know if there would ever be accountability for any of the jive I've done. I don't know if I see that happening. Oh no, a grenade! Oh, it was just a smoke grenade. That's weird. Wow. I gotta say, for a game with awesome, otherwise awesome visual effects, the, what do you call it? The plumes of, what do you call it? Tear gas kind of look like garbage. Like, that just looks awful. Like, really great explosions, really great snow, like, lots of nice visual details, even good muzzle flashes. But, yeah, their clouds of tear gas look awful. Like, weirdly awful. I know smoke's hard to do, but I don't think it's that hard to do. All right, so yeah, Barry, show of the year. We're going to be here next week to talk about the season ender, but we're also here to talk about American Gods, which is, whew, going full throttle right from the first episode and has not let up even a little since.
It doesn't.
We have watched episode.
You finally got your answer as to what happened at the attempted lynching.
Yes, finally. Makes perfect sense, too.
Well, finally, it's like episode 4.
Well, yeah, but it's still, they made me wait 3 episodes. Anyway, you're right. They did rush along. And, by the way, might be the best casting I've ever seen in the history of television, and I'll tell you why. So, we found out in the first episode that his supposed best friend was sleeping with his wife, and they died together in sexual congress.
Yes.
Right? And so now the entire episode is about his wife, right? Like, the whole episode is about his wife. And that means we're not going to be able to spend much time with the character who is the worst best friend in the world, right? So you need to cast an actor who, the minute the audience sees him, is like, I believe that this is a scumbag who would bang a guy's wife while he was in prison.
Yep.
You need an actor who conveys that just by him appearing on screen. And so it's like, you go to the barbecue and I'm like, is that Dane Cook? It's Dane Cook. Like, that is the best casting I've ever seen for a character. Like, you need to know he's a scumbag just by looking at him. Dane Cook. That's all you need. Do you think it hurts Dane Cook that, like, when they, like, needed a guy to be the worst friend in the world, their first thought was, we need Dane Cook? Do you think that hurts his feeling that that's what he's typecast as?
I think he's just happy for the work.
Oh, poor Dane Cook.
Yep.
You know what? He must have saved his money, right?
No, look at his face.
Oh, God.
Just, go on. Tell me that he has a good investment account.
Oh, no.
Just look at him.
I
please.
know. I mean, I did see him in this episode, and okay, you make a strong argument. But it's like, oh, wow. So, yeah. Well, what kind of, like, who is his wife that she was cheating on? And it's like, oh, she's a person who has spent her, I guess, whole life with untreated severe depression? Like, it certainly seems that way. Because we meet her sleepwalking through life and attempting to kill herself, but only just not being able to go through with it. Like, that is where we meet that character. At the point in her life where she's ready to pack it all in. And I don't know, I'm not ready to predict what in her backstory led her there, but when we meet the character, she's ready to kill herself. And then she finds this guy and she's like, I've got this exciting, dangerous guy. I will start being excited about living again. And instead of him being in her life, bringing her out of this depression, she just pulls him down into it.
Yeah.
And it creates this incredibly toxic codependent relationship. Where
everything about her is kind of toxic.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, but as they said, like, it's complete. Like, she is a woman who has had this horrible, untreated depression for who the hell knows how many years.
Yeah.
Like, hell, she's been working at that job that she hates for when they decide to rob the place. What, 8 years?
Yeah.
Like, so this is a woman who doesn't have anything good, and I'm like, what is her backstory that got her trapped here? You've read the book. Are we going to learn more about where she came from, or is it just going to be there?
We're going to learn a little bit more, but okay. I think the focus is more on her
going forward as a super zombie.
As a falling apart super zombie.
That was a nice touch. Oh my God! Mr. Ibis! It's Tobias from, hold I'm blanking on Tobias from Hannibal.
Yeah, and the
loved
guy,
him.
yeah, the guy who was on the unit.
Yes. Oh, I love him so much. I mean, those 2 episodes of Hannibal are some of my favorite. He's got that amazing fight scene with Mads Mikkelsen. It's just, I love that actor. I was so happy when he walks in as the business partner of Mr. Jekyll. Which, again, you're getting pretty cute there, Mr. Ibis and Mr. Jekyll. You're being very precious with these names, Neil Gaiman. But I guess that's Neil Gaiman's brand, right? The guide is this way. Okay. Follow the guide, peeps. Follow the guide. But yeah, we find out what happens. We get a whole episode about her backstory as a falling apart super zombie.
And then, we get more Anubis.
Yep, we got more Anubis. Another great Anubis scene. With, she's like, nope, I'm not getting into, I'm getting destroyed. I know that first up. And then, I have not seen, oh crap. Level 9 to 12. Oh, you are? Okay. I'll be there to help out. I'm doubling back to help you out. But yeah, when I was watching, I'm like, that's a creative method for suicide that I was not familiar with. I've seen some creative suicide in television, but it's like, a thing I was not expecting is bug bomb yourself while in an airtight hot tub.
Yeah.
That was a new one on me. And this is going to be a strange thing to ask.
Watch out.
Well,
because you're in an area that's 3 levels too high.
Oh, okay, but it's telling me this is the way we have to go to get to the next mission. So, what's the situation there? Uh-oh. So you're saying, and this is why I don't like the level system. So these looters, oh my god, I'm doing almost no damage to them. And they're doing full damage, like, all of my health with one shot from their pistols. Wow, the level system really is horrible. I mean, I kind of knew it was, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I'm going to sprint back to you. No, I got shot to death.
I wasn't kidding.
Wow.
You did.
Like, that's a ridiculous game.
It's
weird that
3
I can't
levels
spawn
too
on
high.
you. This is why I hate loot-based games. It's like, I have an assault rifle. No, I know it's all level-based, and that's what bothers me. That's like, and I've said this before, in a game where I'm firing, like, Zeep guns at Flurns, make the levels however you want. I don't know how that world works. I just pointed an assault rifle at a man in a hoodie, and I shot him 4 times, and I did 5% of his health as damage. That's ridiculous. That is, like, viscerally frustrating to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And yeah, that's why I hate, like, for many settings, do your level-based nonsense. But for this kind of setting, no. How do I teleport to you?
You can select me on the map, and then hit X and
gotcha.
Space and, like, 9 other things.
Okay. I am fast traveling to you. So yeah, so my question is, am I overthinking this, or when we see the hot tub again, is it drained because she was trying to, is it normal neglect, or is it a little note to us that she's like, was really worried that she was going to kill herself again, and she drained the hot tub as a precaution?
I think it might be a little bit of a nod to us. Just
okay,
you know,
that's an extra thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Oh my god. Oh, so disgusting. Oh, so disgusting. Her and... So she's gonna keep falling apart, right? Like, she's got superpowers, but as we're told both by Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Ibis and by the Leprechaun, like, she's not being preserved by that magic, right?
No, she's coming apart at the seams, in fact. And
oh, yeah.
Taking...
I mean, I got him, don't worry. Okay, he's good at getting behind cover, I'll say that. I mean, I'm still gonna murder him, but he's good at using cover. Okay, so yeah, like, and that's one thing that I think is clear, but yeah, I just wanted to know, which suggests that the show is not going to be taking place over an incredibly long period of time.
It it definitely has a pace to it.
Yeah, like, because we're going to season 3, and I have to imagine that by the time we're in season 3, it's only going to be like a month later. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I'd be interested to see what kind of pace this thing keeps. 3, 2, okay. I was gonna count us in, but it's fine. Just start shooting everybody. I'm not gonna complain. That's my passive aggressive way saying, I wish you would warn me before you started shooting people.
Well, look,
I mean,
there's some guys up ahead.
They all got killed.
I'm going to shoot them.
Okay.
And now I'm shooting.
Okay, there we go. See, is that so much to ask for?
I'm sorry. Would you prefer me screaming, check yourself?
Okay, you know what? If those are my two options, let's keep it as it is. Seriously though, my question to you is, so really good episode, I thought, taking on her journey, like doing all of her character, giving us way more background for her than we got for Shadow Moon, about whom we still know almost nothing. It's interesting that the confirmation we're getting from Anubis is that people get whatever afterlife they expect. Like, it's interesting because he's the one in charge of the afterlife, which would be like, oh, no, he's in charge of the afterlife, so I guess that means, Egyptian mythology.
The one who orbits all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Egyptian, but he's like, no, you get the afterlife you expect. Right? You get the afterlife you believed in. I mean, you still have to be worthy of it because, and I think that's a safe bet to say that most of these afterlife concepts have a layer of people needing to be worthy of it layered in, right? Mm-hmm. But I just like the idea that right there he says, no, you get what you expect to get. You believed in nothing, so you get nothing. You get darkness. And the horrifying thing is that it's like rest in peace, darkness. It's like, which creates the kind of creepy idea that, oh wait, does he literally mean she is going to be aware of nothingness? Because that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's very discomforting.
Yeah, because like there are two things you can mean. She literally stops existing, no more consciousness, right? She's just gone. Or it means she is going to a place of nothing, and she is going to be aware.
She's going to be aware and floating in nothing.
That's a horrifying idea, and I don't know if that's what he meant, but it kind of feels like that's what he meant. Okay, I may have ran to a place where there was no cover.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's on me. I'm like, I'll just jump behind this fence. Oh, it's a fence with holes.
Oh, fences Great. You can...
Yeah.
Like...
So I'm literally hiding behind a placard for a restaurant, which at best would be aluminum. That would be the best, so I don't know how that's stopping anything.
And as you've noted in this game, when it looks like it won't stop anything, it won't stop anything.
I shot someone through a sign earlier, and it made me very happy. Like a guy was hiding behind a billboard, and I shot the billboard, and I hit him. Like, way to go, game! You actually thought this stuff through. So, hoo boy. Then we get to the second episode we watched, episode 105, which introduces us to the conflict of this world for the first time. And oh boy, Crispin Glover's in this show.
Yeah.
I had no idea Crispin Glover was in this show. It was such a pleasant surprise. Oh, I haven't seen Crispin Glover in forevs. And here he is.
The entire show is just
into the show.
Generally pretty good.
Casting-wise, you mean?
Yeah. Specifically, like, could you imagine someone else being cast as Mr. Ibis?
No, Mr. Ibis is perfect casting. Like
And I
Mr.
did figure out
Jekyll.
where we've seen that guy before.
Where was it?
Anubis. It's from
Yeah?
Stargate. He was
Oh.
one of the main Jaffa at one point.
Okay. All right. I get it now. Okay. So he's a Canadian actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's really good. But yeah, seeing Tobias again, seeing Tobias as Mr. Ibis is fantastic. Hey, shotgun. Thank you. I need a shotgun. I've got 2 assault rifles right now, so now I've got stuff to swap out. Quick release magazine. Oh, for faster reloading. Nice. Hey, they gave me a shield. Cool. I got a shield just like you do. I assume you've already done this mission, and that's why you had the shield?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. But yeah,
I need to fiddle around with my inventory, but yeah, go on.
No, go ahead. Do it. Ooh, a surplus SVD. Do I need a sniper rifle, though? Is there any really long-range conflict in this? Because it seems like it's going to be mostly building to building. And like street-to-street fighting, and there's plenty of coverage. I don't know how valuable sniper rifling is going to be. But anyway, as I was saying, so we've got to find a store and sell all of this now? Is that how it works?
It's inside.
Oh,
but you can dismantle it for parts, and parts can be used for crafting.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so there's stuff to this game. Ooh, I've got a Magnum. Nice. That's very cool. How do you dismantle 4 parts?
You go into inventory.
I'm in inventory.
Then you click on the item and...
Oh, there'll be an option in the item?
Yeah, it's X, I believe.
Okay. It is click left thumbstick. Nice. Oh, cool. Well, that's not a bad system. And then I can craft, like, mods for my weapons and whatnot?
Yep.
Okay. I like the sound of that. So, now we introduce... So, Gillian Anderson is playing media.
Yep.
Celebrity. Still not sure what to call her exactly. But last week she was playing I Love Lucy, and not at all visually convincing as I Love Lucy. Doesn't look anything like her. But did a much better job looking like David Bowie this week.
Shockingly good.
Like, she looked a ton like David Bowie in a way that impressed me. Pretty darn good Marilyn Monroe this week, Gillian Anderson. Are we going to see more her playing various celebrity characters going forward?
I think so.
Yeah,
I haven't watched ahead this week because I haven't had time, to be honest.
No, totally fine. I mean, I'm not going to criticize you for not jumping way ahead of me. But yeah, I'd be very interested to see if that becomes a theme with her. And yeah, I like the pitch. I like his pitch to the conglomeration and the conglomeration and the, what do you call it? The corporatization of all gods.
Yeah, where we're just going to rebrand you, Odin.
Yeah, like, everyone's going to remember your name, everyone's going to think about you all the time, but within within a context we choose. You get to still have power, but only as part of what we are, like, the globalism modern pantheon. Yeah, like, he will have some power, but it's like the modern pantheon of globalism, right? And that is what Mr. World seems to be representing. And it's like, there's no separate cultures anymore. There's just one giant global consciousness. With different aspects to it. And you got that fed in because we've got a god dying in the prologue to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the people who believe in him either die out or accept the new gods of the land they come to. And so we watch him get destroyed when everyone has forgotten his name. And that's the key element. Once his name has been completely forgotten by history,
he's gone.
Now he's gone. And so that is and as they say, who's talking about Odin anymore, right? Now you understand what the stakes are for Odin and like what they're offering him. That's really interesting.
I mean, it's not the best deal, but at the same time, it's a deal.
it's a deal compared to, the other threat, which, as we learned about in the opening of the episode, is literally extinction. Literally no more him. He withers away and disappears if nobody remembers him, and, Odin just isn't the brand that he used to be. He might do okay for himself, he might still have powers, but he certainly doesn't have the public awareness.
He doesn't he isn't what he was.
Yeah, he isn't what he once was. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see where that goes going forward. So yeah. And again, as usual, it's a visual feast. Is David Slade directing all of the episodes?
I believe so. Or if he doesn't,
he's got he's defined the show's visual style.
Yeah.
In such a way that it is remaining incredibly visually consistent.
Yeah.
And okay, what I need to know more about is what is the context of, what is the consequences of. So you've got this woman who was ambivalent towards everything in her life, including her husband, who loved her more than anything, right?
Yeah.
But the function of her being resurrected by his wish has created the situation where now the entire world is black and white to her, except for him. And there's always a beacon of where he is.
I think, honestly, at this point, my interpretation of her character is that's how she always viewed the world. And now she's got a little bit of light in it.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, before the whole world was gray, but now that he's wished her back to life, there's one bit of gold left in the world, one bit of gold in the world.
She finally feels, for him,
yeah,
like he felt for her.
That, and the thing is, the visuals the show are using certainly suggests that. I totally see that could be where that's going. It's so fascinating. I guess it's a really good show.
I know.
Yeah, it is a really good show, and it is off to a great start. It's one of those shows where you get a couple episodes in, and you're like, I'm almost glad I waited, right? So I can watch so much of this.
Binge.
Yeah, so I can binge. Binging is really the best way to watch shows, because every now and then someone will do a think piece about how great it used to be to, spend weeks waiting to find out what happened next on a show, and I'm like, I feel like you're nostalgic for something that wasn't real. You're like, I feel like you are forgetting how much you actually hated doing that. Because binging is wonderful. I love Barry, right? But if I could have watched the whole season of Barry in a single day, the second season, the way I watched the whole first season of Barry in a single day, I think there's a chance I would have been even happier than I am with Barry. Because I'm not complaining about my experience with Barry. It's been fantastic, but if I could have watched all of that immediately, it would have been such a relief. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I definitely know what you're saying.
Yeah, and I can't imagine I'm the only one who feels that way. And with this show, it's so great to just be able to sit down and just watch all of the show right away. It's so fantastic. I'm not watching it all the way. We're watching it two at a thing, but it's like every time I get to the end of the episode, I'm like, I could just leave this running. It's on Prime. It's on Prime. I actively have to make a decision to stop watching it.
Yeah.
The show will just keep happening if I don't press a button. And I want to experience this gradually as we do these, so I am not going to press that I am going to press that button, but it's tempting me in a way that I haven't been tempted in a while to just let it run.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
I did that last week. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep watching.
Well, the way that third episode ends with her turning up at his door, yeah. I totally understand you keeping watching. So, yeah, we've got really great job this week, both in establishing the threat of the world, and the threat of the world and what the central conflict is. Like, it's a great scene with Crispin Glover. I now know what the stakes are. I now know what the world is. I get it. And I can't wait to see what happens next. But I still need to know, like, what's going on with Shadow Moon. And I know I'm going to have to wait a few more episodes for that. And you already know because you've read the book.
Yeah.
But, like, not enough time is spent by Shadow Moon wondering why he is so central to this experience.
Yeah, why he's in demand.
Yeah, because he is obviously in demand. Like, because it's pretty clear that he was lynched. Like, because it's like, oh, you won't join with us? Well, we can't let Odin have you, so I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
We will deny you to the enemy.
Yeah, we will. And it's like, that means something clear, and that he's important in some way. And all that I've got, the only clue I have is that he's a magician. Well, what does that mean exactly? Like, in the context of this world where gods and monsters are real, what is the fact that he's a magician? How is that significant? And again, you've read the book, so I'm not actually asking you. This is all rhetorical
Yes,
rambling.
I understand that these are all rhetorical questions, and I will not answer them.
Thank you so much. All right. So we're going to be back here next week for more Division and a farewell to season 2 of Barry. And if you're watching along with us, American Gods, episode 106 and 107.
Yep.
So that should be good. I'm glad we're doing the ending on odd numbers in American Gods, so we're not going to have to wait between weeks when we get to the season ending cliffhanger. I'm just going to watch the season 1 cliffhanger, and then I'm going to immediately watch the episode 1 of season 2. That's going to feel pretty good. But yeah, join us back here from that. Before we go, is there anything you want to recommend to people? Is there anything you watched lately you think people should check out?
Not really, actually. I haven't been watching much. No, I'm good on recommendations.
Okay. But as you said, Division over Division 2?
Yeah, Division 2 just seems so much flatter and less... Like, even looking at the inside of
this base?
This place, it's less detailed. It's less...
Really?
It's less detailed. Yeah. It feels more lived in.
That's okay. That is an interesting complaint. But on the upside, if you go to the right place in Division 2, Air Force One has crashed in the middle of the city, and you can walk around inside it. So there is that.
It's not as impressive as you think.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, I'm kind of having a little bit of remorse for buying the game. I'm like,
oh, no.
$80 in this game.
Yeah, and it's like, right now, Division, we got a free
I understand
part of
that
Bundle.
Division has gotten, like, 3 solid years of content.
Yeah. And
on him.
maybe 2's going to improve, but it still looks better. Like, Day 1 Division looked better than Day 1 Division 2 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that is too bad. All right, so we'll meet you back here next week for more Division and those shows. But until then, I'm just going to say au revoir. I actually want to read the book. I'm not going to. But
it makes you want to?
I've got a copy right here. Like, it is in my house. I can just pick up the book and find out what happened.